Hey guys, so 14-3 is continuing to find the unknown number. Now, if you were in our Zoom call, you saw us do our fact families, and you saw that we were solving problems and finding missing numbers by using fact families and part whole. So we're gonna watch this video and it's gonna show you one way to do it, but I'm also gonna show you another to solve this equation. So let's start so we can get our question, and then I'll show you the best ways to solve these problems.
A string is 28 centimeters. Alex cuts off a piece. Now the string is 16 centimeters. How long is the piece of string Alex cut off?
So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you my screen. Hey. So what we're gonna do is, it says that a string is 28 centimeters and Alex cuts off a piece, and now the string is 16 centimeters. So we're gonna think about the information that we have. So the string, the total length of the string, it says a string is 28 centimeters. So the total length that we have is 28 centimeters, right? Then Alex cuts off a piece. It doesn't say how much he cuts off, but we know he cuts off something. So I'm gonna write cuts. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a question mark. I don't know how much he cuts off, so I'm gonna put a question mark. And now the string is 16 centimeters long. And now I'm gonna write now the string is 16 centimeters. How long is the piece that he cut off? So this is the information that I have. What I can do with this information is I can make a part whole. So on my part whole, I have my whole number on top and I have my two parts on the bottom. What is the total number that you have all together? What's the longest the piece of string was? The longest the piece of string was 28 centimeters. So up at the top of my hole, I'm gonna put 28 centimeters. Now, one of my parts, I don't know. I don't know how much he cut off, so I'm gonna put a question mark for one of my parts. And my other part of the string I do know is 16 centimeters. So now I have to solve for the question mark. Whenever I am missing a part, I need to subtract. Whenever I am missing a part, I need to subtract. If you are missing a part, you need to subtract. So what am I going to do? I am going to think about my fact family equations for subtracting. I'm missing a part, so I need to subtract. So what numbers do I know that I can subtract? Well, I already know that when I'm subtracting, I have to start with the 28. So I must start with 28 minus, and then I know when I have my fact family, I have two equations. So I can do 28 minus a question mark equals 16. I used all three, and 28 minus 16 equals the question mark. Now I can see this is the equation I need to use because my question mark is at the end. So if I use this equation, I will find my question mark. Let's see what they do to see if they do it a little bit different or explain it a little bit different, but I wanted to show you. Remember, if you are missing a part, you need to subtract. If you are missing a part, you need to subtract. So let's see what they have.
How can you use subtraction to solve this problem? How can you use addition? To use subtraction, you can think 28 take away what number equals 16?
That was one of the equations that I wrote on my board. 28 minus one number equals 16. But we also know as a fact family, I can switch those around and write 28 minus 16 equals what number? But let's keep going.
To use addition, you can think 16 plus what number equals 28? Do the 28, 16, and the question mark represent the same parts of the problem in each equation?
So I want you to think about this. If I had my part whole here, I would have addition problems that would match as well. I would add the two bottoms to get the top. Whichever way you want to do it. If you want to do 16 plus question mark, oh, it doesn't, the marker's not really showing. If you want to do 16 plus the question mark equals 28, or you can do the question mark plus 16 equals 28. So that's what they're showing you. You can either use this equation or you can use one of these equations to find your answer. This equation matches the question exactly. 28 minus what number, what did they cut off, equals 16. So those are the two that they're showing you. But you know there's 4 equations that you can make with this number. So what they asked is the 28 the same 28 in both equations? Is the 16 the same 16 in both equations? And is the question mark the same in both equations? So yes, they are the same. This 28 is talking about the length that it started with, that the ribbon started with, and so is this one. This 16 is talking about the length that it is now, and so is this one. And this one, the question mark, is talking about how much was cut. It's the exact same, it's just shown differently.
Yes. In both equations, 28 is the length in centimeters at first. 16 is the length in centimeters now, and the question mark is the length that was cut off. You can draw a picture for 28 minus equals 16. You see that 28 minus 12 equals 16. You can also draw a picture for 16 plus equals 28. You see that 16 plus 12 equals 28. Alex cut off 12 centimeters of string.
So the way that they're showing you is they're using a yardstick, but they're using it like a number line. So they're saying if I have 28 minus question mark equals 16, if I start at 28 and I go and I jump until I get to 16 and the amount of jumps on top, that shows me my answer. But you can also do that with your addition. If I start at 16 and I make jumps until I get to 28, how many ever jumps I made on top tells me my answer, which is the same thing, 12 centimeters. And you could always check it to make sure. Drag the slider to show the missing parts of the equations. Oh, it already showed it. So let's see. So 28 minus 0 and 16 plus 0. We can see that we get the same answer. It's not really giving us, this should be 16 and this should be 28. So let's see. Ooh, it always goes fast. So there they did minus 2, they did plus 2, and you can see where we're at. We're still not where we need to be. We haven't met the other side yet. Now we're at 6 and we're at 22, but we're not at 28 or we're not at 16. So when we keep jumping forward, we can see I made 12 jumps back to get to 16. And here I went from 16 to get to 28. I made 12 jumps forward. This just shows you a different way that you can find your answer. You can always reverse your equation and use your fact family equations to find the answer as well.
Do these pictures both represent the problem?
Do these pictures both represent the problem? Yes.
Yes, they both represent the problem. Does the answer change whether you use addition or subtraction to solve the problem?
The answer did not change because I know that I can use addition and subtraction to find different answers, because as long as they're in the fact family together, it's not going to change my missing answer. It's not going to change my missing number. I will get the same answer as long as I'm using the fact families.
No, the unknown measurement is 12 centimeters, whichever way is used.
Now you know how to use drawings and equations to solve measurement problems.
So let's watch the other video.
My plant was 18 inches tall last month. I just measured it again, and now it's 32 inches tall. Wow, it really grew. I want to find out the measurement I don't know. I want to know how much my plant grew since last month. Well, I know I can show the problem with an addition equation. My plant's beginning height plus its growth equals the height of my plant now. Now how to solve this unknown measurement problem? I know, I can draw a picture of a tape measure to help add it all up. The tape measure is just like a number line. Okay, let's start at 18 because my plant started at 18 inches. Let's hop 2 more inches to a nice friendly number, 20 inches. Still far from 32. Let's hop 10 more inches. 10 plus 20 is 30. That's easy to add. Okay, now I am close. I just need to add 2 to get from 30 to 32. One small hop. I'm there at 32 inches. Now I just have to add up all those hops. 2 plus 10 is 12, and 12 plus 2 more is 14. I hopped a total of 14 inches from 18 to 32 inches. So 18 plus 14 equals 32. So my plant grew 14 inches. Writing an equation helped me so much. And then I just had to draw a picture and use a little number sense to make it all add up. I bet you can do this with subtraction too.
So the way that they did it is they kept the question mark there, which you can, and you use the number line. You say, well, if I start at 82, how many hops will I have to make until I get to, or if I start at 18, I'm sorry. If I start at 18, how many hops will I have to make until I get to 32? You could do it that way, and that makes perfect sense. You could also use a fact family. My question was missing a part. My whole number is 32. One of my parts was 18, and then my other part was a question mark. So you could have used, you're missing a part. If you're missing a part, then you need to subtract. So you could have done 32 minus question mark equals 18, or you could have done 32 minus 18 equals question mark, and you could have found your answer as well. Remember, if you are missing a part, you need to subtract. All right, guys, so 14-3 is going to give you word problems that you need to solve. Make sure that if you like this strategy to use part, whole, it will really help. If you're missing a part, you need to subtract. If you have both parts, then you need to add. So I'm going to show you that real quick. Let's say they didn't know how long the plant grew, how much the plant grew. So let's say that they said month one, it grew 18 inches. And month 2, it grew 14 inches. How much did it grow all together? So the total, what would the total be? So I can make a part whole. Here I go with my part whole. My whole number, my total, I don't know my total. I am solving for my total. One of my parts is 18 inches and one of my parts is 14 inches. If I am missing a whole, I need to add. So I would add my 2 parts to find my whole. So remember, if you're missing a whole, you need to add. If you're missing a part, you need to subtract. All right, guys. Make sure that you're writing down your answers and that you're not just guessing, because if you're doing it from in your head, you might get it right, or you might get it wrong. And I think it's much better to write something down and spend like 30 more seconds doing it to make sure that you get it right, because that's how you are going to make sure that you get the best score that you can get. Okay? All right. See you guys later.